Alright folks, how's it going? This is Mike. First time I do a video on cutting my hair. I've been cutting hair since I was 13. I'm 37 now. So I'm going to go ahead and record a little video of me cutting it. I don't know how long it's going to take. Normally don't time myself. Everything is disinfected. I sanitize everything, my clippers, everything. And you notice I keep messing with this camera because I'm trying to get a good view on when I'm cutting my hair. And here we go, folks. Basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a buzz. Trim the side up. I got a balding clipper from Wall, and I like to spray them here to clean the edges up. And here we go. Alright, let me get the rest of the stuff that I need. Get everything all lined out. Got the brush off the hair. And I like to use a taper guard left and right. Along with my number 1 clipper guard. And I like to throw in there a number 2 just to get the edges. I can't use a comb, however, on myself, but I can, but it's just a little longer process on doing it. So just bear with me, folks, as I'm trying to, for the first time, actually record myself. I've never done it before as far as recording goes. So just bear with me, show you how it's done. Like I said, I've been cutting hair since I was 13 years old. I actually got encouraged by doing it by seeing my uncle cut hair, Louis Castile. He used to always cut our hair. I just got encouraged by watching him cut. So Louis, if you ever get a chance to watch this video, man, I appreciate it, man. If it wasn't for you, I probably would have never gotten encouraged to cut hair. I picked it up from there, bought everything. Went to school for it and everything. Sometimes it takes, it's a little quicker than others to cut hair. But all depends on your mirror that you have too as well. Also got to have a back mirror. That's going to be the most important. This one here is actually a smaller mirror than what I'm used to. But we're going to try to make it work, folks. Basically what I'm doing, I'm just doing a line. Getting my outline first before I can come back. It doesn't have to be straight because it's always going to be blended in anyways by the actual, with the guards and everything and the clippers. So what I like to do is I like to make sure it's at least symmetrical on both sides. That's the key, to make sure it's kind of uniform. You don't want to walk around and one side being higher than the other. In most cases, I mean, sometimes it looks like that just because of the way your hair grows out. Hair grows out different ways, almost like three different ways on people's hair. You know, it just all depends on what side they sleep on. So, and some people don't know that when they go to cut hair. You gotta treat everybody's hair different. Nobody's hair is alike, and I've learned that over the years. So I like to just make sure everything is nice and uniform. This is what I do, man. Like I said, I've been cutting my own hair for many years now. Used to cut a lot of families, relatives' hair as well. Just kind of gravitated away from it, got too busy on my cabinet business and everything else. But okay, it looks like the line's pretty much uniform there. And as you can tell, nice little line there. So that's first part. So what I like to do is I like to come back with the actual taper guard on the right side of the right ear. Sometimes it blends it in depending on how long the size of the hair is. So they don't like the background noise in the back. Got my kids in the back on the other side. I like to spray them down after every use. Just kind of wipe the mirror down and kind of go to work on it. Basically, it's just blending in that line that's there for the most part. I like to comb the people's hair or even my hair on which way they're going to comb it because it's easy to get an actual definition of the actual cut. You want to blend everything in, make it look nice. Same thing on the left side. You want to go on the left side here. That's a disinfect, but it's also a coolant to keep the blades cool so they won't get hot. The clippers tend to get overheated as you're cutting. And what that does, it starts stalling out the clipper to a point where it loses power. And we don't want that, because then that's when it starts pulling and all this other stuff. And you definitely don't want that. So, alright, so that's the second step. So what I like doing is coming back with the number 1 on the lowest setting on the clipper guard. And this is what gets kind of tricky, folks. You know, this right here, you want to take your time on it. You know, you don't want to overcut. And it starts making your fade go even higher. I mean, considering that I cut on myself, I cut it myself, so it tends to do that. But there's ways of blending it in and making it look nice still. I'm going to check this door here, folks. Basically, I'm just blending it in all the way across, just to kind of and you have the folks just getting there. Like I said, sometimes it goes real quick, and sometimes it don't. You know, you gotta work with it, and just what happens at the end of the day. You know, your hair kind of tends to go different ways on you. It takes a little time, but you want to just brush everything off, excess hair, just to make sure everything's going as smooth as possible. And don't mind your shirt, folks. Just an old barbecue shirt from back then. I'm not trying to advertise. I just want to show you guys that cutting hair is also a beauty. So I got my line set up, so I want to come back without the guard itself. And this is where it gets kind of intense, because you gotta make sure you control your hand there for a little while, because if not, paper guard's gonna go crazy on you and you might take off too much hair. So this mirror on the back side wall, it's actually too low, and you notice I'm kind of squatting down so I can get a better look. I gotta adjust that mirror. It's a new mirror, but just gotta adjust it. I'll have a better video up next time if this one goes up pretty good. Basically, I took away the line that was there from original, and it's getting uniform now, so you can tell it's blending in now. So what I want to come back now is with the right guard and go ahead taper right guard and just kind of take away that line. This is good to use, folks, when you can't use the comb on yourself. It's a lot easier to use instead of trying to sit there and get the comb and doing it. You know, it's a lot easier doing it this way. I mean, you want to go all the way around as much as you can with this paper until it blends in. Or do the same thing on the opposite side, left side, and kind of go from there. Now, depending on which way your hair is actually getting combed, your hair's got a certain way it's actually used to going, depending on how you comb it and how you sleep. So it's going to tend to go different ways, all kinds of ways on you. You just want to make sure that you're cutting accordingly. As you can see now, it's blending in perfect so far. I don't want to jinx myself, but what I like to do is I like to brush the excess off of everything, and then kind of keep it in position where the hair is actually going to get combed. You don't want to overcut. This would all be trimmed down eventually, but right now I'm just trying to demonstrate on a short video here. I don't know how long it's taking me so far, but I'm doing my best. Try to make sure it goes good, doesn't mess up. Don't mind the gut, folks. I just ate. I normally got a six-pack going there on the stomach, but I'm bloated right now. I just ate. So don't judge me. That's a joke, guys. All right, folks, and you can see it's blended in perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this mirror up a little bit. And it looks pretty darn good to me now. Got a nice even fade there, you can see it in the edges. There you go. So what I like doing is actually, after I know it looks pretty good, don't laugh at me, folks, but I trim these up, the eyebrows, with the number 1. Get them all nice and trimmed. You know, nowadays, you got eyebrows just going crazy on you. Same thing with the beard, the thinning. My beard is not very well uniform. I get it from my grandpa, but as you can tell, that's the beginning stages of it there, and you can tell everything looks nicely uniformed. And I don't know how long it's taken. It's only 18 minutes. Oh wow, that's what happens when you record. Goes just a little longer than expected, but you know, you want to make it look nice at the same time. You know, I used to cut hair within a 5 to 8 minute time frame when I used to do that, but as you can see, it's nicely faded. Looks pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back now with what I like to do at the end of the day. After my trimmers are nice and cut, actually trimmed up or cleaned, I'm sorry. I tend to want to cut this just to trim it up a little bit. Just kind of just go back over it with a number 1. Just kind of cut that excess hair off that. Make it look uniform. Like I said, my beard is not the best, you know, but like I said, it's there. It is what it is, you know. Of course, me cutting somebody else's hair, the steps are the same, but you don't see me struggling the way I am right now. I don't know if it looks like I'm struggling, but you just want to make sure everything is nice and uniform. folks. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so you want to go ahead and wipe your clippers down and give them one last spray. Turn them on, let the excess air just run off. There, you're done with that section. And let's see where we're at with these. There. Like I said, I had these clippers since I was 13 years old, and they're still up and going. Next is one of the Andis number 2 style 2. These ball bean clippers of Wall had them over the same amount of time frame. So, like I said, these clippers have all been disinfected and cleaned up, sterilized. That way, you get a perfect cut. The blades are sharp. I'm gonna do the same thing. Clean that up there. What I like doing is kind of just edging this part here. Considering that this is a longer part, so what I like to do is bring this down some. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Kind of even that up. And you want to go ahead and start cutting those veins off as much as possible. Kind of line them up a little bit. Alright. Just want to go ahead and lift that up there and cut the line in the bottom of that. Like I said, I'm actually explaining in the video, so it's taking a little longer, doing step by step. Alright folks, there you have it. Nicely trimmed up at the end, at the top edge. And you just want to kind of give it the back end of the clipper there, not too much. Just like that. And then you want to go ahead and trim this beard up. And you can tell it looks pretty uniform there. So not too worried about that. That comes and it goes. So this here just kind of just follow it. Like I said, folks, I've been cutting hair since I was 13. And like I said, I'm 37 now. And it pays off, man. Learn a trade, you know, cutting hair, cooking, barbecue, chef, cabinet making, you name it, man. A few trades I haven't done, but I'm not too worried about that. I mean, right now, things have got a nice little fade here. Edges are nicely cut, and you can tell everything looks uniform. And what I like to do is, you gotta clean up everything here. So I got the powder here, just kind of take the hair out. I got a cape that I use, but for the video, it'd be pointless doing it for yourself, you know? Use the powder everywhere. So that's done with. Put that there. Not very much cleaning, you know, just a little bit of hair here and there. So cleanup time is 10 minutes, if that. And kind of gel that I use here, it's actually a clear ice, you can see. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but best gel that I've known to use, and you can buy this at Sally's. Walmart has it, but the smaller container. And just kind of just brush it in there, back and forth. And you can comb your hair however you desire. That's a look there, but that's not my look. Go ahead and find what I use. We're gonna go ahead and comb this hair here. I've been combing my hair now this way for about a year now. Don't ask me why. One day I grew it out and they said, hey, I like it. And kind of left it alone. Been told by one of my uncles, Armando, and he'll probably watch this video if it allows me to play it on Facebook. But he calls it a boy haircut. And there you have it, folks. Nicely cut, edged up. You can see the back. Faded up. I want to thank you guys for viewing this video. This is Mike with MC Kutz.